Good morning, children. We will continue from page 78. Okay. We had till now learned that the two generals had become friends and they were celebrating on the Christmas day. Far from the maddening crowd, so out there in no man's land, we talked of Bathsheba and Gabriel Oak and Sergeant Troy and Dorset. He had a wife and one son, born just 6 months ago. As I looked about me, there were huddles of khaki and grey everywhere, all over no man's land, smoking, laughing, talking, drinking, and eating. Okay, so this we had discussed in the last video. We will continue further. Hans Wolf and I shared what was left of your wonderful Christmas cake. Connie, he thought the marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. I agreed. We agreed about everything, and he was my enemy. There never was a Christmas party like it, Coney. Okay, so what is he telling? That Henswolf and I, being an enemy, okay, we were left. We ate the wonderful Christmas cake which you had prepared and sent me. And he said that this is the best thing which he had tasted, and he agreed also. We agreed about everything. Okay, being an enemy, children. Okay, अगर enemy अगर होते हो तो एक दूसरे की बात कोई नहीं मानता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे though they were enemies but still they agreed on everything. And there never was a Christmas party like it. मतलब ये जैसी Christmas party थी वैसी उसने कभी भी Christmas party नहीं देखी थी. Then someone, I don't know who, brought out a football. Great coats were dumped in piles to make goalposts, and the next thing we knew it was Tommy against Frist out in the middle of no man's land. Hanswolf and I looked on and cheered, clapping our hands and stamping our feet to keep out the cold as much as anything. There was a moment when I noticed our breaths mingling in the air between us. He saw it too and smiled. Jim McPherson, he said, after a while, I think this is how we should resolve this war. A football match. No one dies in the football match. No children are orphaned. No wives become widows. Okay? So, कोई फुटबॉल कहीं से लेके आया. Okay? And great coats were dumped in piles to make गोल पोस्ट. ओके, वो लोग सीधा मतलब सब लोग बिजी हो गए गोल पोस्ट बनाने के लिए. एंड द नेक्स्ट थिंग वी न्यू इट वाज टॉमी अगेंस्ट फ्रिस्ट. मतलब दोनों के बीच में फुटबॉल मैच होगा इन द मिडल ऑफ नो मैन्स लैंड. हेंस वुल्फ एंड आई लुक्ड ऑन एंड चीयर्ड. Okay, clapping hands and stamping feet to keep out the cold. As it was Christmas, so obviously it will be very cold. Okay, that means it is the December month. That means it will be cold. There was a moment when I noticed our breath mingling. Okay, matlab though they were enemies, but both the armies, okay, were there and their breaths were mingling around them. He saw it too and smiled. Jim McPherson, he said, okay, what is he telling? That I think that this war also should be resolved in a football match. Okay, in football match, no one dies, no children are orphaned, and no wives become widow. Okay, मतलब एक football match की तरह ही ये war भी end हो जाना चाहिए. I'd prefer cricket, I told him. Then we Tommies could be sure of winning, probably. We laughed at that, and together we watched the game. Sad to say, Connie, Fritz won 2-1. But as Hans Wolf generously said, our goal was wider than theirs, so it wasn't quite fair. So England were good at cricket. Okay, so what is Jim McPherson telling? That I prefer cricket. Then Tommies could sure win the game. Okay, we laughed and they watched the game. Okay, sad to say, matlab it was sad कि Fritz won the game. But Hans Wolf generously said that our goals were wider. मतलब गोल पोस्ट जो बनाया था वो उन लोग का थोड़ा वाइड था, इसीलिए उन लोग का एक गोल एक्स्ट्रा हुआ. The time came, and all too soon, when the game was finished, the snaps and the rum and the biscuits had long since run out, and we knew it was all over. I wished Hans well and told him I hoped he could see his family again soon, that the fighting would end and we could all go home. और at last everything was over, और लास्ट में एक दूसरे को दोनों ने विश किया कि हम लोग अपनी फैमिली को देख सके. I think that is what every soldier wants on both sides. Hence Wolf said, "Take care, Jim McPherson. I shall never forget this moment, nor you." He saluted and walked away from me slowly, unwillingly, I felt. He turned to wave just once and then became one of the hundreds of grey-coated men drifting back towards their trenches. That night, back in our dugouts, we heard them singing a carol and singing it quite beautifully. It was still Natch silent night. Our boys gave them a rousing chorus of wild shepherds watched. We exchanged carols for a while, and then we all fell silent. We had had our time of peace and goodwill, a time I will treasure as long as I live. Dearest Coney, my Christmas time next year, this war will be nothing but a distant and terrible memory. I know from all that happened today how much both armies longed for peace. We shall be together again soon, I'm sure of it. Okay, so what are they thinking? Ki everything will be over, and every soldier wanted from both the side to make peace. Okay, and at night in their dugouts, they heard the other party, other side, other army singing. Okay, and they also sang in the chorus. And what is Jim McPherson telling to his wife Coney? That in the next year, this Christmas, this war will be there or not, I don't know. Okay, but this memory which we had spent the day today will always be there in my mind, and how much both the armies wanted the peace, and we shall be together again, I'm sure. Okay, I folded and again now in the present time, I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into its envelope. I kept awake all night. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I drove into the Bridport, just a few miles away. I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Beeches was, house number 12. Turned out to be nothing but a burnt-out shell, the roof gaping, the window boarded up. I knocked at the house next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of Mrs. McPherson. "Oh, yes," said the old man in his slippers. He knew her very well. A lovely old lady, he told me, but muddle-headed. But at her age, she was entitled to be. Wasn't she? 101-year-old. She had been in the house when it caught fire. No one really knew how the fire had started, but it could well have been candles. She used candles rather than electricity because she always thought electricity was too expensive. The firemen had got her out just in time. She was in a nursing home now. He told me. Burlington House on the Dorchester Road on the other side of the town. Okay, so next morning उसने क्या किया कि वो उसमें जो एड्रेस दिया था, इसीलिए वो मिसेस मैकफर्सन को सर्च करने गया, और वहां पे जब गया तब उसने देखा कि उसका घर पूरा जला हुआ था. फिर उसने नेबर्स को पूछा, तो नेबर्स ने बोला कि यस, शी इज 101-year-old लेडी, शी इज वेरी नाइस लेडी, अ लिटिल बिट मडल हेडेड है, क्योंकि उसकी एज, मतलब एज के हिसाब से वो ऐसी है. ओके, और उसके घर में आग लग गई थी, और क्योंकि वो कैंडल्स यूज करती थी, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यूज नहीं करती थी. फिर फायरमैन ने उसको कैसे भी करके वहां से निकाला, और अभी वो नर्सिंग होम में है ऑन द अदर साइड ऑफ द टाउन. आई फाउंड बर्लिंगटन हाउस नर्सिंग होम इजिली. enough. There were paper chains up in the hallway, and the lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with the lopsided angel on top. I said I was a friend who had come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. She even offered me a pince pie. She walked me along the corridor. Mrs. Macpherson is not with the others. She told me she's rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. She has no family, you know, no one visits, so I'm sure she'll be only too pleased to see you. She took me into the conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. Okay, so अब जब वो वहाँ नर्सिंग होम में वो पहुंचा तो वहाँ पे भी क्रिसमस का सारा डेकोरेशंस किया हुआ था. एवरीबडी वॉज वेयरिंग द पेपर हैट, दे वर सिंगिंग. Okay, and this Mrs. Macpherson was kept in another room because she was still more confused because of her age and because she had no family. Okay, and no one visits her, and so she will be very happy to see you. So the matron took him to where she was staying. Till here only we will do today, and I'll continue in the next video.